Boom. What up, chat? What up, what up, what up, what up? Sorry, guys, there was a little delay on the start of the stream. Well, it's only like 4 minutes, but I was trying to get my link or something wasn't working. So I had to create the stream myself and then send it to you guys. So just give everyone a bit of time because some people didn't get the link. Some people are still waiting, you know. And regarding the microphone with the left ear, I'm going to maybe call this company, the Shure company, try and get hold of them, maybe email them and try and get a resolution to why this is happening. Because I'm sure it's a common issue, or maybe it's just an issue with me. Wouldn't be surprised, bruv, you know. Well, welcome everyone. I hope everyone is having a nice Thursday, you know. Almost nearing the end of the week. I hope everyone is having a little reset. I don't know what you guys are up to. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. I want you guys alive. I want you guys active. I want you guys buzzing, you know. Let's work, let's trade. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. What's up, Isabella? What's up, Ilya? What's up, Charlotte? What's up, everyone? What's up? What's up? What's up, Michael? How's everyone doing? How's everyone doing on this fine Thursday? I'm feeling good, man. Like, I don't know. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling positive today, you know? I don't know. I didn't wake up the greatest. And I was like, you know when like, what's it called? You know when there's like, what was I meant to say? Like, you know when you wake up, like trust me, guys. Like, you know, before we get into training, but like everyone thinks I wake up and everything's great, right? Like no, dude, I don't wake up like that at all. I'm not actually a morning person. I generally hate it. I go to bed quite late, which is not good. And then it takes me a little while to get up and buzz in the morning. You know, like I need to get a bit of sunlight, need to move my legs. You know, a lot of people think I just wake up and go to the charts. Like, absolutely not. No. I need a bit of time, you know, to get energy and stuff, you know. Ilya's saying in the chat, some people are feeling amazing. That's great. What's up, Susanna? Ilya's already saying it's bearish, classic sell day. So I somewhat agree, but I've got a different perspective, right? I'm going to show you guys a little something, right? Because if you paid attention to my last stream, right, you guys will understand that I talked about substructure, swing structure. I also talked about supply and demand. I also talked about a Fibonacci, how we can take advantage of that. So I want to recap on that, and I also want to actually mention something, why it's important in the current structure, right? So guys are ready. I'm ready. Give everyone a little bit of time. Shame, I think there's one dude. Someone like messaged me. Manimal, shame. Come to other stream. I don't know if I'm running like 2 streams now or something. No, that's right. Okay, cool. All right. What's up, Rosie? What's up, Danny? All right. So, like, what I wanted to look at, right? This was obviously the trade that we took last week, and something important I was telling you about the substructure, the swing structure. I was talking about the current direction of the market. It was important for us to understand that, like, where could I find a level to? And I told you guys you guys could have made a shit ton of money on this trade, right? Because I told you guys, don't move your stop loss to break even, but run the trade in profit, right? This was the trade that we took. It didn't even come close to break even. So this trade, I told you guys, just keep it running. And I told you guys this level. Look how we bounced onto this level, right? I want to show you guys this as well. What is this now? Oh, yeah. Like, look at that. Look how perfectly this fib level, once we hit that level, it had a rejection from that. Like, how perfect is that, right? And this is what I was telling you guys. Do not limit yourself to certain positions. Like now, if you hold this trade, that's a 1.124.67, almost a 1 to 5 risk to reward on this trade alone. No drawdown. Absolute clean trade. And that's what I was telling you guys last time. So some of you guys closed early. Some of you guys held a little bit beyond our TP level, and that's fine. But like, look at that. You missed out on a crazy amount of profits with absolutely no risk. That stop loss is to break even, right? So beautiful trade overall. And I mentioned this 4137 level that I was talking about on my stream. Someone actually mentioned it, and they said, someone actually mentioned it last time, and they said, like, could it reach that? Literally, it did, right to the T. It mentioned, it's like hit there, reversed from that level, or like, so if you were running it retraced, sorry. If you were running this trade and you were running it, you're running your like stop loss just below, it would have just never caught it until like, if you moved it till there, bounced up to there and came back down. That was a good way. This would have been an easy, like at least minimum 1 to 3 risk reward on this trade, right? All right, so we're going to remove this for now. Remove that for now. I'm going to talk about the current structure. Now, Ilya said bearish, right? And I just want to do something like this for now. I just don't want to look too far left. But what I was looking at is, I want to look at the 4 hour and I want to look at the 1 hour, okay? Because technically, ignore everything that side. Because technically, this 4 hour structure now, there's two things that we got to look at. Well, I don't know two off the top of my head, but there's two things for now that I want to look at. So firstly, this structure is bearish, right? It's coming from the left. But then, all of a sudden, we had a change of character, right? That, let me just point this out. So we had a break-in structure over, well, yeah, pretty much. So we had a clean break-in structure over there, or sorry, a change in character. Let me just do this, change of character, like that. So the clean change of character on that point alone. I'm just going to remove this for now just to block out the noise. You guys seen that? So technically, right, within the 4 hour structure, would you guys agree that we still technically bearish, but the momentum could be shifting bullish? Does everyone agree with that? Right? Put in the chat if you understand that. Because in theory, we still bearish. Right? Because, wait, I want to start, wait. Before I go, no worries, Manimo. Welcome. Would you guys agree that we still bearish within the structure, but there is a chance that the 4 hour structure could be shifting slightly bullish? Would you agree with that? Yes or no? Yes, bro. Come on. Come on, bro. All right, perfect. So understand that we've had technically another change of carry or break of structure over here. So technically, this in theory, right? This in theory might be a pullback, or it might continue the bearish structure, because if we take the structure overall, this is what it would look like, right? If you're looking at the current structure from here, for example, you take it from here, this could just be another lower low, another low being created for us to have another pullback, for us to continue coming back down. If the structure was still bearish, right? But at any moment now, because this part, let's point this out, because this part now has indicated that it could be bullish, especially maybe on a lower time frame as well, like a 1 hour, 15 minute, this could also be, because technically this is now forming a bullish structure, right? This could in fact be a pullback or a retracement as well, no? Am I right? May explain a bit more how we can know. Depends. Could you put, Isabella, could you put more in detail what exactly to know what? But would you guys also agree with that there could be also this move now could be a pullback for us to continue going higher? So yes, the overall 4-hour structure is bearish, but we could be shifting into a bullish structure, and this could now in theory be a pullback for us to continue going higher. Now, right, so just if everyone's on the same page, please say yes and agree, because I need you guys to communicate in the group so I know that you guys are on the same page, because if I have to go back, there we go, someone agrees it could be bullish. We could have a shift in structure. Cool. All right, perfect. So everyone's on the same page. Cool. I'm trying to explain obviously now a little bit more clearer, because obviously, like I said last stream, I'm trying to get back to explaining it a lot more clearer and getting you guys on the same page, so I don't skip anything, and I don't want anyone to feel stupid or feel dumb for asking any questions, because not everyone's on the same page, and I want to be on the same page as mostly everyone, right? Okay, Isabella had a question. Know that it can go up as the yellow arrow, just a guess. It's not just a guess, it's identifying the current market structure. So it's not a guess, it's understanding where we are in the current structure, right? Because now, to get back on the point of now, what is the 1 hour showing us, right? Now, if I don't take too far left, right, structure was looking pretty bullish. Okay, structure is looking pretty bullish. And all of a sudden, a few key levels was broken. 1, 2, 3, right? So this whole move is already been broken now. So in theory, if this is our liquidity, if this is just coming down now grabbing liquidity, which it doesn't really look like, because it looks like we've just created 3 bearish engulfing candles pushing to the downside, this is looking like it could come down even further now and tap into this level, this range over here, right? So I just want to identify this level, this over here. Now, if I'm looking at that, would you not say that we're probably more close to coming tapping, grabbing liquidity within this level than this whole structure being done? It's done. This whole structure is already played out, right? But now what we do have is, in theory, we do have a demand zone, a supply zone that has been formed. It's obviously quite high up, but this is why we're going to break it down onto the lower time frame and see if we can possibly get a retracement. Because remember what I was saying earlier, right? So this is obviously your consolidation. Bam, over there. This over here, that. Going to make this green. That over there is your swing structure. You can say pretty much to there. Cool, or even higher, that's fine, somewhere there. And then we can say from here down to here, that now is your substructure, right? This now becomes your new swing structure. This now becomes your new substructure, right? Now, there's your next swing structure, but now we're creating basically just a strong pull down. Now this whole move from year to year, I would say that's pretty much a big swing structure, right? If you're not including this, because there's not much structure that was formed, besides like here, for example. But I would say this now is pretty much your whole swing structure. So now what we need to wait for is your substructure to be formed to create a retracement. Remember what I was saying earlier in the, what I was saying within, if you have a bullish structure, now you have a bearish structure pushing back down. When it's going down, it comes down like this, right? To explain this. So when you have bearish structure, you create obviously the first move, the impulsive move, retracement move, impulsive move, retracement move, impulsive move, right? This swing structure, substructure, swing structure, substructure, swing structure. So in theory, I think that this is the entire impulsive move to the downside. Now we haven't seen a pullback, a strong pullback and a retracement to the downside yet. This, if it comes down and taps into here, we don't know what price can do, but I'm assuming that it's going to have a little bounce back from here because there has been a lot of volume within this level. We should come back and touch into here and should come back and have a retracement from this level. Now, if price doesn't come have a retracement before, we could be in sells from around this level, because I'll break it down until lower time, because obviously within all of these 1 hour candles, there will be an opportunity for us to have, let's say a 15-minute supply zone, which we can execute a trade on. Is everything clear? So put in the chat, your face is in front of the left chart. Sorry, something like that. Is everything clear? Like exactly what I explained? Perfect, perfect. There we go, nice. So everyone's on the same page. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible so that everyone understands. Again, I will be making a 10-part series. I know I've been talking about it a lot, but I'm really putting a lot of time into it. I'm on I finished chapter 3, I'm moving on to chapter 4, and it'll be completely free on YouTube. So all of you guys can go see exactly what I'm explaining now. I'm going to break it down and then do it onto the... Still holding on to the 4042 buy entry. Nice. 1 second before I... Yeah, currently we're in sells in the VIP, which is absolutely smoking for now. This is the one that we took in the sells. I just wanted to have a clean chart, but we are in a position, but obviously it's far too late to enter that. I just want to go ahead now and break on the 15 minute. Now, the thing is, right, for us to verify that this is a potential supply zone, this or this is beautiful. Number one, why? We've had a strong impulsive move to the downside. So one, we have, well, let me just put this here. For it to be a supply zone or a demand zone, rules, okay? I'm going to make this a bit bigger, don't worry. Let me just do it now. Rules for supply zone. Okay. We need to have a strong impulsive move to the downside. Strong. Number one. Strong. Move down. Okay. Do we have that? Yes, we do. Would you agree? I definitely agree. It's like without a doubt. I'm not going to go one by one, but and then ask for things. Don't worry. Now, do we have confirmation number two? Do we have a slow move? If we were to say that, let's say for example, this is going to be, I would say, if we're going to take it from, so let's say this candle down to this candle, I'd say that's pretty good, down to this level. If we were to say that this is going to be our supply level, we have two now, right? We have two supply levels, two selling levels. We can also say this one as well. So we got two supply levels. Now, for it to be a valid supply level, right? Where's my thing? We need to have a slow rise, not an impulsive push to the upside, not an impulsive move. It needs to be something like this, right? Why do I keep losing this tool? Yeah, it needs to be something like this. So you slowly work it back. That would identify a nice slow push back to the upside into our supply zone. If it is something like this, that's not a good supply zone because that's not identified. So we need now a slow retracement back up. Okay. Number 3, we would obviously execute the trade, right? Execute trade. All right, so now I've explained exactly what the criteria is to look for supply or demand zone, and now we're currently looking for sell, so we're looking for a current supply zone, okay? All right, all the rules, what I've just explained, does everything make sense as well, right? Is everything clear on that part? So we got 2 valid supply zones, well, valid until it's invalid, depending on how price pushes back up, okay? Everyone in the chat, please say yes. If you don't understand something, let's see. I want to see from you guys. You guys obviously help me a lot because you help me understand where you guys are struggling with and what you guys are not understanding, okay? So I'm really starting to understand much more clearer with you guys with how to explain certain things. What else did I want to say? And then now, guys, if you really wanted to, you could also have a fib level, right? So if you wanted to pull out the fib level to confirm, to get extra confluences on certain levels, that's perfectly fine. So how do we do a fib level? We take from the swing high to the swing low, because we're bearish, drag this across. Now, how does a fib level work, right? So in theory, what price should do if the Fibonacci were to wake up perfect, oh no, wake up, sorry, but if the supply level was to be, if you're waiting for the perfect supply level, like the A+ supply level, because you got Fibonacci confirmation and you got the supply zone confirmation, you in theory would want something like this. Why? Bam, 0.618 level, bam. And pushing that 0.618 is aligning nicely with your supply zone above, right? And that will be a perfect retracement to the downside. That is an ideal setup. That would be an A+ setup, right? Because now you got your Fibonacci, which is like, let's say 20 pips off from your supply zone, and you got that 0.618 level, which is the key pocket level, right? That is how you find a beautiful execution and a beautiful trade, all right? Supply zone, horizontal movement with direction movement. Horizontal is, horizontal. Yeah, well, I don't know. Well, like if you're talking about supply zone, you need an aggressive move to the downside or opposite side, like let's say horizontal. Vertical, is vertical up? Vertical and horizontal, yeah. Yeah, I'll get a little bit confused. But anyways, so if you were to have a, like I said, this is bullish. This, I don't know why my hand's up like I'm asking a question. This is consolidation. This is bearish. Okay. Now for us to have a valid structure, when we're coming up, like let's say for example, like for this to be a valid supply demand zone, need price to do something like this. Strong impulsive move, one candle, bam. Price slowly trickles down into this level, right? Bam, 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 bam. Nice, because then we get the confirmation. Bam, price pushes back up. All right. Horizontal is lying down, vertical is standing up. Yeah, I thought so. I just find it, I don't really use that terms like horizontal, vertical movements and stuff like that. I don't know. Might just confuse people. Confuses me, so yeah. Does that make sense? So now I've explained, literally, I've given you guys source on fib levels again and the supply level now. Obviously, we don't have any prominent demand levels right now, so this is what we're looking for. If you can mention the prices, yeah, sure. Yeah, when I'm maybe back in the office, my screen will be a bit bigger and a bit better, because obviously I'll be using the Apple screen. Now I'm using my Windows screen, so it is a little bit confusing. Confuses me too also sometimes. Yeah, so we're just not going to really talk about horizontal. Horizontal is horizontal and direction, horizontal movement. We're just going to leave that for now, right? We use bullish, bearish, consolidation. These are the terms we like to use, all right? Okay, cool. So now I explain that. The levels currently, I can do something like this. This would be nice for you guys because you could probably see it a bit better. So somewhere more or less there. It's like whatever, somewhere like there for now. Like this is just a level for now. And the fib level is this. Is that a bit clearer for you guys? Just identifying like what exactly we're looking for. Because the thing is, right, if we were to take a short position here, our stop loss would be slightly above there. We would aim to target these lows down below here, so it'd be a nice one, 2.65. All right, that would be that. That's like a decent setup. I wouldn't say it's the best. I wouldn't say it's the A plus setup. Short position, and then your second short position will be somewhere here, and this one would be a much better, right? Stop loss above there, then you can target like these lows, right? For nice like 1.6, or your stop loss can be slightly above there, just in case you have a steeper retracement, depending on how price pushes up here, right? If you use the fib level on the 4 hours impulse up, the price is strong demand zone 2 now, and precisely 618, so we can buy back up to the supply zone. Just saying. I agree with the statement, but the problem is that that's a very good point, Hobby. I really like that. Just one thing that we got to pay attention to is that we've had 4 strong impulsive moves to the downside. We're not sure that if this is going to be your demand zone, because you're probably talking about this level here. Right? If that was your demand zone, it already would have wicked you out in theory, and this wouldn't be a valid demand zone. I mean, so this wouldn't be a valid demand zone because why? We had a strong push to the upside, right? So that was number one. We had number one. We never had number two. We never had the slow retracement down. This is an impulsive move down. So it invalidates this demand zone. Depending on how this candle opens, potentially we can have another level down here. Somewhere down here for a next demand level. I could say somewhere like that would be juicy. That could be another demand level. That's not necessarily your swing low, but you could have something like this. Where's my tool? So that's what probably Hobby was talking about this. Because technically on that 0.618 level, but again, if you took it from down here, your start of the move, then in theory that would have pretty much played out almost perfectly, but I would rather wait until it hits here. Like some people would have taken this, right? That, and it technically would have been valid as well, right? So it's hard to say right now because I wouldn't be taking a buy, especially if we had a few impulsive moves to the downside on the 4 hour on the higher time frame, because the higher time frame always dominates price. All right. So I think this stream already has been super educational. I think, Hobby, I appreciate that question because it was something to identify in case some of you guys have been trading by yourselves and you have been looking at certain things on the charts, which is great. But there's a lot of factors that we've got to obviously pay attention to. So now, in theory, right, what this move could do is like this now could be that move, or this move could be your substructure, right? That could be now either here or down here. This could be your retracement substructure. Okay? We need to wait. Because right now, what are we waiting for? This could be your consolidation, that slow retracement level that we were talking about earlier, like number 2, key point number 2, that slow retracement back up to your level to confirm that it's a supply level. Right, so bro, you look for a bit of consolidation to be a valid demand zone. A little bit of consolidation, a little bit of consolidation, but I need a little bit of smaller price action building up to that, right? It mustn't just be an impulsive move. It needs to be slowly trickling to that level. Because when it's strong impulsive, that just could be that we could have had a liquidity grab and price wants to continue shooting back up. That's why it's very important. That's why sometimes we can wait a while, and sometimes I send a signal, let's say to the VIP group, right, which we've sent a signal today already. We've sent this one, and sometimes it might take a little while for it to execute, like we were in sales. Or iron cells, for example. It might take a little bit of time for us to execute the positions only because we might have seen an impulsive move. So we retract that and we say, no, it's not going to work, right? It doesn't look good. And that's why you will see sometimes they say, cancel the position, do not enter. And some of you guys are like, why? Like, that's why. Because it moved too quick. I didn't like the way it moved to that level, all right? So I hope that makes sense. Yeah, substructure depending on the way the market go back into the supply level. Exactly. Cool. So I think you guys are getting the grip of things. Some people that's asking, Isabella, is everything a little bit more clearer? I know you're still fairly new. I'm not just targeting you because I know a lot of people, let's say, are too shy or they don't feel confident enough to ask questions. So just seeing with you because you at that really, I think, a beginner stage. So it's good to have you in the chat because I need to. I'm starting to understand exactly what people are struggling with, you know. And for the people that are, like I said, too shy, for example, they don't say anything, and you know it takes a lot longer for them to learn. And guys, if you haven't already, please like the video. Remember, 100 likes on one of my streams, and I'll stream every day of the week, Monday to Friday. Right now, so not on the stream itself, please go like the actual stream, the video, like if you'd like a YouTube video. There, I see some of the likes are popping up. And then if you haven't already, guys, please pop a subscribe. I stream every Tuesdays and Thursdays. So, yeah, I hope to see you guys more frequently. What do you look for in the forming structure to confirm that the trade is valid? Good question. So we look for. So firstly, we got to identify what structure we're in, right? So if I'm looking at that, right? Let's just point out this for now. Wait, do this. Don't want to get that. I want to get this. Let's just do this for now. That. Let me just make this orange so it's a little bit different from. So to answer your question, Keech. To answer your question, Keech, so would you confirm? Now, only navigate. Oh, wait, this is even better here. Here we go, wait. Okay, that's beautiful. Okay, so to make it as simple as possible now, let me put my cat on, my explaining hat, you know. Okay, so Isabella, also let's take note of this. So when you look into the left here, right, can everyone confirm in the chat, because this is what we did last week, right? I mean, not last week, I think we did this on Tuesday. Can everyone confirm in the chat? This is not structure. This is consolidation. So technically it's a consolidation structure, fine. But it's not a bullish or bearish structure. Does everyone agree on that? I'm going to break it down very slow, so everyone's on the same page, especially including you, Isabella. Just 1 second, I just want to see. Potential sells even down here. Something like that. Okay. Because I'm preparing for potential sells in a bit. Okay. So some people are understanding a series of consolidation. Okay, not a series. We don't call it like you are right, because I understand what you're saying, but we just call this a consolidation range, right? Because prices range in, call it range in consolidation, whatever you like, but I see what you're getting at. Is consolidation because it goes up and down within a zone and it doesn't break down or break through. Exactly. There we go. Very good, Isabella. Very good. That's exactly what consolidation is. Simple as. I'm with you, Isabella. I'm very new, but the videos on Luke's page are brilliant and explain it in a lot of detail. Highly recommend. Really appreciate that, Charlotte. And yes, I agree. You know, there's a lot of value in that. If you guys take the time, especially maybe over a weekend or something, if you don't have time during the week, definitely go watch them. But my new series will definitely be a lot easier to understand. All right. Okay, so cool. We all agree consolidation. Like Isabella said, straightforward, very simple. She's a newbie, right? She's saying it as simple as possible. It's a consolidation because it goes up and down within a zone and it doesn't break through. Exactly. All right. That's exactly how we identify consolidation. All right. Now, would we confirm that when price broke above that wick or even above the structure, would we confirm that we potentially have now a swing structure being formed? Right? Could this be the directional move on the 15-minute time frame? Right? So everyone, I'm going very slow. Very, very slow here. So if everyone agrees on that, I need to change the latency because I feel like there's a little delay on the chat as well. Let's put it just a little bit lower. So yeah, so just do, I'm not going to like wait, but just put in the chat if everyone agrees. If you have any questions while I'm explaining it, I will explain super slow, but if you have any questions throughout what I'm explaining, please put it in the chat. Okay? I will get back to that. May I know what is the exact meaning of a swing structure? So a swing structure is when you are having a consolidation and then price makes a very big impulsive move, breaks above the current structure, which is consolidation. So there was consolidation structure. We break above that current structure. We have a confirmation that we've closed above meaning that this could be the next big move of a change of character, because right there we were pretty much bearish. We have a change of character, we have a new structure being formed, we have the bias of potentially, hey, this is going to be a bullish move to the upside. Now, it's so intense because you have to, like, when you see this structure, right? I don't want to jump to too many things, but when you see in this, all of this, on a higher time frame, right? This would be a couple of candles confirming that we identified and we break into a new level, and this is how we can identify where the top of the range could be, right? But I need to get into that. But just for now, just to understand the simplicity of structure, is that we come up, we create a new high. Now, with obviously a new high being formed, price can't continue going higher forever, right? We need to have a slight pullback, right? So we need to have a slight pullback, and this creates a substructure. Now, what I mentioned earlier is that you can start identifying positions if you want to take a position on a 1 minute or 5 minute time frame to potentially catch this retracement, because you understand it's going to catch a retracement. You identify another key level where price started to break out, because obviously you had minor consolidation within this range, right? Minor consolidation there. So you identify that this price, the lowest point it could possibly reach, we will possibly have another rejection, was probably there, because you understood that the current structure, thus, you understood that if price were to break below this, you would have to identify that if price was to do this and then break below there, we could identify that price was going to come lower, and that could have been a liquidity graph for us to continue coming back down, right? But because price closed there, that you identified that was your lowest point, and we understand that this is going to create a new swing structure. So that was your retracement, because at the end of the day, to everyone, this is all that it is, right? As long as you create new highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, right? It's all that simply creating. It's that, but that, with a lot more. What you guys, I know exactly what you guys are getting confused with. You guys are getting very confused with this. All this bullshit. This. You guys are getting confused with that. You guys are getting very confused with this. Like, that's what throws you guys off, because you're not looking at the bigger picture. You guys looking at these small little incremental moves that don't matter on, let's say, the 15-minute time frame. You guys are letting that fuck your brain up, and you guys are really like, oh, why is it going like up, down, left, right, sideways? It's going down small, and it's going down a little bit bigger to small, small to big. I don't know. Forget about it. It doesn't matter. It's just, if you're looking at the current structure, you're looking at, big swing moves, big structural moves. You're not interested in this bullshit that happened in between. We call that a bit of noise, right? It's creating a little bit of noise. Like, when you have this, like, look how beautiful, right? Let's remove this. Sorry, let me do that. How beautiful does that structure look? Bullish, right? It looks, it's such a clean, bullish move. Like, if I do this, right? Because that obviously looks way easier. Let me just mark the points a little bit better for you guys, right? Oh, this is so weird to do this. Wait. Is this going to work? I think that confused the fuck out of you guys, because that confused the fuck out of me, to be honest. But yeah, we had, okay, well, technically that's the error. Yeah, that's that. So if we take, okay, let me do this, right? How much we have? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we have 3 high points. So let me do something like this. Let me do this. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Let me do this now. Okay, keep that there. That's very easy, right? When you guys see that, you're like, yeah, boy, that's simple, bro. I can trade that. Now, what's the difference between that and that? Isn't it the same thing? It's exactly the same thing, right? Just because I drew it a little bit more easier, it's the same fucking shit, right? Isn't that so simple? You guys just like to see a perfect, beautiful, pew, 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 pew. But that's all that it is. With the bullshit, without the bullshit involved, without the stupid candles that don't really make a difference. Obviously, it makes a difference because you're having some slow moves, the upside example, right? So does that make sense, right? That is that. It just looks a little bit different. It's not always going to look the same. Like this could be a little bit like that. This could be a little bit like that. As long as it doesn't break that, as long as it doesn't break that, that's fine, right? And that's all that this is. It's just structure. Is that a little bit easier to understand for most people? Because you probably watched a video on like structure like this, for example, right? That's simply all that is, right? And then for now, to confirm that we have a bearish structure, now when we confirm that we're going bearish, when, like I said, when I said this, right? Bam, 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 bam. Wait, sorry. Do that. Well, it doesn't really matter, but anyways, it's like that. So that's like that now. When does it become not valid? Right? When we do something like this now. So that's going up. We have a change of character. Because why? We broke below that previous higher low. Now, isn't that what we do in here? Right? Doesn't this isn't that just this? Isn't that just that? Doesn't that look like pretty much the same? So for us to confirm that we're still in current structure, we're still in current market structure, we've just confirmed that we've had a change in character, which means the bias from going from bullish to bearish has confirmed on the 15-minute time frame, right? So the swing structure can be both up or down. Yeah, absolutely. I can't flip my chart upside down, but I mean, if it was, I mean, let's take something that's a bit easier to understand, like this. Let's take this, right? Let's take this. So, Isabella, just to answer your question, this would be a bearish one now. They were showing you a bullish one. This one will be bearish. Same concept. Take it from the swing high. You can even take it from here, right? Take it from here down to there. Let's make this orange, I believe. Yeah, swing structure. We have from here up to here. It's going to be our, what did I make it? What color did I make that earlier? Red. Okay, cool. I'm going to explain this now, guys. Don't worry. Okay, so now this is to identify now your bearish structure now. So, for example, remember, if our start of our swing structure is up here, right? Start of the swing structure is up there, all right? When does it become invalid? If the price, because a lot of you will be looking at this now, right? This probably confuses the fuck out of you. I know exactly, you guys. This confuses the fuck out of you because you're saying, oh, but wait, Luke, that's closed higher than that. Absolutely, you're 100% correct. We have a change in character on a lower time frame. So yes, in fact we do have a change of character. It's, by the way, a liquidity grab, but we haven't closed above here. Technically, this would be a break of structure. If price had to continue moving up there, it would be a break of structure. We didn't close above the current swing high. So this structure is still bearish until we close above there. Now, if we had to have this, for example, before I move down to that, if we had to have this, because this was looking like it was going to have a change of character, if price came back down here, did something like this, then that would be a break of structure because we had a change in character of price pushing a bit bullish. We had a break instruction. Price could have confirmed that we're going to have a confirmation for us to continue going higher, but we didn't. So price continued coming down, staying within the same bearish structure, and price continued to push back down, creating a new, that's your new higher or lower high, coming back down to a low low, lower high, lower low, right? Internal change of character. Yeah, you can call it that. So does that make sense there, Isabella? So yes, so that's just the inverse, understanding that that was our swing high. This did not break our current swing high, so technically it's still validated within the same structural move, right? Like we can even do like, I mean, if you really wanted to, you can even do like this being your swing move, that being your red move if you really want, because there's all a bit of noise there. That's a slight retracement to the upside. All right. So that's another easy way of identifying. All right. Cool. I know I haven't taken a trade on stream, but I think you guys are, I'm trying to educate a lot while we are waiting for positions. So I hope you guys do enjoy it. Like again, if you have learned something from what I've explained for the past hour, please make sure you like the video, like the actual stream. And if you want to see more of these streams, please pop a subscribe. And if you obviously want to get access to the VIP where we drop these signals every single day, you know, you want to get access to these signals, also drop me a DM. My link is in the description, and you guys will be able to join the VIP and get the signals without obviously doing all this grafting. All right. We also have AI signals. We have crypto signals as well, so you can trade over the weekend. Okay. So is it possible to have cases that break the small consolidation like the second red box? Let me just go back to this example. So we're on the same page. So you're asking, so is it possible to have cases that break the smaller consolidation like the second red box? So I'm assuming you're talking about this one, right? You're talking about this one or the current red box, just for me to understand. The second runs, but it goes down. It goes downwards. Is always better to do on a 15-minute time frame instead of a 5-minute or 1 minute. So no time frame is a perfect time frame, right? You need to go. You guys need to understand that as well. You guys need to understand it. Like, just because I take some trades on a 15-minute doesn't mean that the 4-hour is bullshit. Doesn't mean the 5-minute is bullshit. It just means that I saw a good opportunity that everything aligned on that time frame. So because I'm doing all my examples on a 15-minute right now, that doesn't mean the 15-minute is the absolute GOAT time frame. It just means that it's you get time frames that work with other time frames. So you get, like, let's say a daily would work well with a 4-hour, right? you would say like a 4-hour works well with a 1 hour and a 15-minute, right? You would say a 1 hour works well with a 15-minute and a 5-minute, for example. Then you would also say, like, let's say a 15-minute can work well with like a 1 minute or 5 minutes, right? For that extra confirmation. So it's just like, it just breaks down lower and lower, because obviously higher time frames take longer for candles to produce. That's why you can obviously say, you know, this is obviously going slowly back up there on the 4 hour, you're getting a better confirmation. And if you want to take trades, like let's say for example, this was like a 4 hour move, right? And then you wanted to take trades because you know that this is a retracement. You want to take trades based on this, and then you want to take buys to the upside because you know you're in a retracement. You would take this, like hypothetically, if this was a 4 hour candles, you have a retracement to the upside because you have a break in structure, you have a change of character over there. Then you can have a, let's say for example, something like this. Now I'm just spitballing here because this isn't a 4 hour time frame. Like it's more or less like a small break of change of character over there. You would understand that we could potentially have a new position, so you could take buys when it retraces back, let's say to this level, for example, like somewhere here, target a new, like target either this high or this high here, so your price range would be up there, stop loss would be just below that candle. You could take that retracement on, let's say, a 15-minute or a 1 hour time frame. So that's how you can look for positions during substructures when you have retracements. So that's how, you know, I might say like, oh, it's looking bullish today, but then we might get like a sell, and you guys might not understand that. And then you, like, because I saw something on the substructure on a lower time frame, that's what made me take a trade based on that, right? So sometimes I might be bearish, but I can still take a buy based on a substructure, all right? So I hope that is clear. Yo, damn, I've explained a lot of shit today. Damn. All I ever wanted was a great damnation. The higher the time frame, the stronger the trend. Yeah, exactly. It's just always, Isabella, so I'm going to target you again. Like, I'm not targeting you, I'm just explaining, but always remember the higher time frame always dominates a lower time frame. Always. It's just because it takes longer for candles to be produced, which obviously within those candles you got in stronger confirmations of what direction it wants to go into. It just is what it is, you know. Don't trust a change of character till you see a break of structure in the same direction. True. I think some of you guys are, like, especially the people, because obviously, like, again, guys, I'm evolving as a teacher, and you guys are evolving as traders. Obviously, I'm at a very good level in terms of trading, but I'm not at the same level that I am at teaching. So over time, I'm becoming a lot better with explaining certain things and breaking down things a lot more clearer that you guys can understand. But, you know, it's like kind of a reverse switch, right? So because I'm at that level of the trader, I need to go down. I need to push my teaching skills up and, you know, numb my trading skills a bit to what other people can understand, you know? Because maybe you guys are way better teachers, but you just not good at trading, right? So it works in tandem. That's where you stand different, bro. Many kudos to you. Appreciate that, bro. Appreciate that, G. Explain more better now, for real. Appreciate that. Yeah, no. Like, for sure, guys. Obviously, price is just consolidating, so that's why we haven't looked for positions just yet. Remember, not every stream we get a trade, right? I don't ever force positions, but this stream I've really liked. And if you guys are desperate for a trade, just chill, because honestly, I would rather, in my day when I first started trading, I'd rather have someone explaining trading like this than taking a trade any day of the week. Any fucking day of the week. If someone could break down a chart for me like I just did now, and then tell me I'm not going to get a trade, I'll be like, fuck yeah, let's do it, bro. You learn way more. Money will come, but the education you value forever. Damn, that's like a teaching quote there, man. Poof. Like how he says, trading is not easy as it seems. It's definitely not. Because the way you know something, like that's why you got to respect some teachers back in the day. You had shit teachers and you had good teachers, right? Fair, they're all trying to do their jobs. But what differentiates a good teacher from a bad teacher is someone who really comes down to your level and explains something to you as if they were doing it for the first time. Because that's the difference. Not explaining to you like I know it all, like I'm better than you, like I'm arrogant, or making you seem stupid, right? And that's what I'm trying to portray. I'm not here to try and make myself seem better than you. I'm not here to try and make you seem stupid. I'm just trying to explain the best way that I can that you guys can understand. And obviously for me, when I first started streaming, I was explaining a lot more differently because I thought you guys knew shit, you know? But you guys don't know as much as I know, and I need to obviously break it down a lot more simpler, right? So that's why when I slow down my pace, when I go a little bit things, yes, it may sound maybe degrading or something like that, but I'm not doing it intentionally. I'm doing that purely to try and get a point across, right? Do you mind explaining more about the green box? This one over here, Isabella? Sorry, this wasn't supposed to be green. This was supposed to be orange. But I made it green because of, like, this is going to be your new swing structure. So, you know this, Isabella, remember when I was explaining that? Like, that's your swing structure retracement, swing structure retracement, swing structure. That is this. That would be that now. But I just made it green because I don't want to have the same color because I might confuse you. Because we obviously have in the bearish swing structure now. And now, this could potentially now be, this slight retracement could now be your, oh, fuck off. This could now be your, your red box, right? Let me just do this. It's not perfect. This could now be your this could be now your substructure bearish, right? So wherever we land here, fuck, so much drawings here. This could either go like to here, could go to there, and that could still be your substructure because the price is still pushing down. Like this could do something like this, come back down, break below that, confirming that we still have that current structure reformed, right? Now again, guys, also remember one thing. This I've tested. It works. Not 100% of the time, right? So just always please understand that like no matter how in depth I explain something, it might still be a losing trade. That doesn't mean that what I've explained is pointless. It just didn't go according to our plan, and that's completely normal. No one is ever going to be 100% win rate. So again, it might be a perfect setup. Like this is looking perfect, right, for a sell once it gets up to here. If it does get up to here, it could get stopped out. That doesn't make me a bad trader. It doesn't make you a bad trader. It just makes it, okay, we lost the trade. It didn't go according to what we wanted. There might have been other factors that were involved, right? So always understand that no matter how I explain something, it can always be a loss, right? I agree with you. Agree with what you said. A good teacher is always willing to use different ways to make people understand the concepts clearly. Exactly. Yeah, obviously I'm trying to like try and incorporate new strategies and stuff like that. I also watch some people teach as well. That helps me, you know, like I'm also, although I know it, I go watch some people to see how they explain certain things, you know. And some people I watch is so good at teaching, you know, and I aspire to be like them in the teaching space. Because like, even for me, like I'm watching, I'm like, damn, this guy's good at teaching, bro. I'm like, jeez, I feel good when I listen to this guy, you know. So I also watch people to get better at teaching, you know, because I fully understand trading, but some things it's hard for me to explain. So that's why I'll go watch a video, I'll see how this person explains, and I'll be like, okay, cool, let me do that. And I'm quite open about that. I'm not like, you know, if you don't know something, go learn something, right? Like you might see me go watching a video on some dude explaining a Fibonacci, you know, like, and I'm like, okay, cool, let me watch this guy, see exactly how he explains it. Might get a little pointers from there. I'm like, okay, sweet, dude, like that fully makes sense how he explained it. Now I can explain it in simple terms, because maybe my terms was just too difficult. It's not enough. It's I'm on the mad. Everyone is gonna do. It's, you know, like a small little pause, guys. You explained a lot there for a second. Sorry, yeah, I had my my 2 minute pause there. Um, Intro at 4042, running at 2k profits. Please jump. Nice, nice, nice. Buys. Look, I'm thinking the lower supply zone might be valid because the price is slowly moving back there, just like you said, part of your rules. True, true. Could very much be. Especially now that it's taking like a little bit longer. You guys are seeing now this current structure here. This. Jeez, where's my tool? Like this here. It's taking like really long, right? It's really long. This to build back up slowly. May I know how you learn about trading by yourself or learn from some paid courses with teachers? So, very, very good question. So I was maybe like once like you guys as well. Like for sure, you guys can probably resonate with this as well. So I started trading way back, you know, way back when I knew nothing about trading. I knew nothing about, you know, people. I would just believe anything anyone said because they had a nice car or a nice way of living, for example. But I would never actually see them trade, right? And I would learn nothing from them. I would just trust that they knew how to trade because maybe sometimes they took a good trade and then, you know. But the whole thing was I just never seen them trade, and that always fucked my brain, right? That's why I purposely come and trade, because I'm like, yo, like I trade, like this is what I do. I'm not some guy that just sends trades. Like I trade, and that was one thing that I wanted to be different by than most people in the space. That most people do not live trade, and especially on YouTube to the public, right? Where you guys can call me out. You know, anyone in the public can call me out. Like I wanted to give myself that pressure as well. It's like, damn, I'm confident in what I do and I'm not scared. Let them come, right? Let them come, because I'm confident in my ability. I have the stats to prove it. I don't just have a nice car. I don't just have a nice watch. I can actually prove it, right? Like, I prove what I do on a day-to-day basis, okay? So I never bought a course. Going to be flat out and honest. Never actually paid for a course. I watched a ton of videos. Just like I mixed about, right? And that's what I told you guys. I'd rather stick to someone, one person, because you're going to learn way more from that than jumping around from certain video to video. Now, again, I don't mind if you, let's say, take a video of mine and you're like, okay, cool, I didn't quite understand how I did market structure. Let me go watch another video just to elaborate, because maybe something is a little bit more clear on it. That's perfectly fine, right? But jumping from person to person is going to confuse the fuck out of you, okay? Let me make that very clear. It's going to absolutely ruin you, because I'm speaking from experience. So I watched a ton of videos. Then once I moved to Malta, I was actually sitting in a coffee shop, and this was a couple of years ago, a few years ago, and one dude saw me trading, and he approached me and he said like, hey dude, you trade? What you trading there? I said, no, I'm trading a bit of gold, a bit of crypto as well. Ah, sick. He's like, I'm also a trader. I'm like, ah, cool. We sat and we chatted, and he was showing me some things that like I didn't know, and I was like, okay, cool, that's interesting, that's cool. He taught me the most about risk management, right? Because that was one of the only things I struggle with. Learning the concepts is not that hard. But learning the risk management part was like the only thing that was like really holding me back from taking myself to the next level. And then me and this guy ended up becoming like best friends. Like we spent almost every day with each other, trading all the time, speaking about different strategies, speaking about this, and that slowly evolved me to become much more confident, because I had like a confidence of another person. Plus he was a good trader as well. And then he was connected with another guy that also was super good at trading Bitcoin. And I was like, damn, I want to learn from this guy as well. So no matter how much I knew, or I thought I knew, I always learned more from these other two people. And that's why, like right now, whatever they've taught me, I'm trying to teach you. And yeah, like I'm really grateful for those people. But I think that's what, it was just that little push that I needed, you know, from these people, like these two guys that I met, that like really fine-tuned the things that I knew, but made it more clearer. Because what I knew was like, okay, like most people know, breaking structure, change of character, you know, I started to implement more supply and demand, some order blocks in there, started to learn some more refined strategies and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, I like the way this guy trades. Right, I like the way this guy thinks, and I'm gonna try this, right? And that's exactly what I did. And over time, that's what got me to the level, right? That's why I always implement don't risk more than 2% per trade, because he taught me the power of compounding in your trading account. Like obviously we learned that in school, but he taught me the power of compound in trading, right? And slowly over time, it taught me about like you don't need a 1 to 3 risk reward every trade. You don't need a 1 to 2. You don't need a 1 to 5. 1 to 1 is good. 1 to 2 is better. 1 to 3 is great. You don't need, because you're always going to have another setup, right? So over time, like these things, because I was always trying to chase this 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 4. When I stopped doing that bullshit, everything became a little bit more easier. So there was like, you know, I was always chasing something that I was never approaching, and like it was like little small things that painted the bigger picture that got me like, okay, cool, I'm confident. So that's what got me. So no, Isabella, I did not pay for any course. Sorry, I actually apologize. I did pay for one time when I was in South Africa, when I was like 19. I bought this guy's course, but he was a dodgy motherfucker. I'm not going to mention names. He's off the scene at the moment. I don't know what happened to him. He was trading NASDAQ at the time. and yeah, I was really interested, and he was in South Africa as well. But then I tried to follow his course and stuff like that. Some things made sense, but I didn't learn anything from it. So no, and it was like cheap then. Like it was a South African course. I think I paid like maybe 5,000 rand, which is like 200 euros, something like that. It wasn't much. 100, even 100 euros, 150 euros. Um, what's your analysis for gold in the next few weeks or months? Bullish, bullish. But I'll show you. I'm not just gonna say like, yeah, it's gonna go up, dude. I will break it down. Fine tune your knowledge is key. 100% Matthew Smith 7837. Manny Mo is saying, I can imagine the downfalls they had to make it this far. Yeah, bro. Like, the one dude took an account from $5,000 to 3 million trading Bitcoin. And then I believe he lost quite a lot as well. But he was trading. He took like over 500 trades or something like that. So he had skin in the game. The other dude was trying to build some systems that, you know, based on his strategy, was always trying to refine it and always trying to do it better. But yeah, I mean, these guys, the one guy was a doctor. So you obviously have credibility that this guy's not some fuck around dude. Like, he knows what he's doing. So that's why I was very intrigued, because he was a doctor and he was learning more about certain things. What is your trading strategy called? Price action or supply and demand? Is this trading concept of gold also suitable for other things like Bitcoin? Sure, can work. It can work. Can work. What do I want to say? Like, I was trading currencies, but then currencies just wasn't working as good. I think I just went through like not a good period during that time, and I was just like, I don't need to be trading currencies. You get to a point, right? When you start to become really comfortable trading, right, you're gonna start messing with tons of different pairs, and some pairs are gonna play out, some are not. Some are gonna be better, some weak, some are gonna be better, and then you're just gonna kind of figure out. You're gonna say to yourself, why the fuck am I trading 5 pairs when I can trade one and make the same amount of money? Why complicate my life? Right? The only reason why people trade multiple pairs is because they want to make more money in a day, because they don't always see the setup forming on, let's say they trade 1 hour time frames or 4 hour time frames. Like, they're not always going to get a trade within the day, right? So that's why people look at another time frame and they have multiple other pairs that they can be like, okay, cool, this is finalizing, so now I can get another trade. That's okay as well. But, you know, me trading like lower time frames, I do tend to get a few positions within a day. So, yeah, that's why, you know, I can be trading other time frames. It can be suitable, for sure. Just like if, like, I get enough trades now with the current market conditions to trade gold successfully. Sorry, guys, like, I can't do anything about the price right now. It's fucking boring. For those of you listening, what is this? I'm making it purple, making it obvious. What is that? What is that? Range in consolidation. There's it, Isabella. Got Isabella, guys. Isabella's gonna get there. I feel like Isabella's gonna because Isabella's been asking the most questions, and I know a lot of you guys also, but she's asking. I was exactly like you, Isabella. I used to ask so many questions, like because I'm so interested in it, and I don't care how many questions I could ask 100 until I get my answer, until I understand. I will keep asking. I don't care. So I respect you, and I think you're doing a great job, and keep doing what you're doing, because I used to be exactly like you, and that's the fastest way to learn, right? Put yourself in uncomfortable positions to learn more even faster. It's the only way you grow. By sitting back doing nothing, you're never ever gonna succeed. Okay, so that is consolidation, correct to everyone. Consolidation like this, right? Consolidation, we're waiting for the next big move. Remember, we can have consolidation within swing structures, and remember, this could be your substructures, so this could become invalidated. Like again, technically this is also consolidation. Technically this is also consolidation. Technically this is also consolidation, right? You guys see that? So we could have a consolidation within a substructure, wherever it might be, right? Bam, bam, whatever. So we could have consolidation within a substructure, perfectly normal, right? So you guys see that, right? So don't get confused with consolidation within a structure or move, right? Perfectly normal. It's obviously just can happen. Like, you know, we've had crazy volumes throughout the day, and remember, like, if we really break it down, like, this is what you can do that's even more interesting, right? If I break it down on the 1 minute time frame, let me even fuck your brain even harder now. Now your guys' brains are gonna be like, shit, it just keeps getting more and more. But let's don't look at this. Forget about all of that shit. Let's look at this now. Now we're on the 1 minute time frame. Do we not have a swing structural move followed by technically another swing structural move, right? Wait, let me just make this a bit bigger, clear. Because you guys are so fixated on one time frame, right? Swing structural move. So technically, this isn't, I wouldn't say this is structured. This is just one big impulsive move. But then, wouldn't you confirm, wouldn't you say within this? Now, Isabella, sorry if I fuck your brain even harder right now. Yeah, I think that's really bad. I'll take that back. It sounds really bad. If I mess with your brain even harder right now. Yeah, I gotta. She's a woman as well, so it just doesn't seem good at all to say that. I apologize. Anyways, so if I do something like this, right? Wait, what the fuck am I doing? This might take a bit of time. Sorry, wait, I just gotta draw this out. Okay, now, like, I'm gonna make your brain a bit crazy now, right? So, wait, let me do this. This, like, might, like, pop your brain out. But let's do this. I might just identify this area quickly. Now let's do something like, let me do a black border. Okay, that's cool. Take note of what I just said, right? Have a look at that. 15 minutes. That's that. Now from that, remember that this was all bullshit on the 15 minute, your consolidation. But on the 1 minute, there's structure. That's structure, right? How cool is that? So even on a smaller structure, you can start to identify, like I said, you can get substructure. You can get some swing structure within a substructure. Like, yo, this is fucking my brain now. But you guys see that as well. How you can get even smaller structure and start to identify patterns on even a lower time frame on, let's say, 2 candles of a 15 minute. Because this is still representing some data. Right? Does that make a little bit more sense as well? Like, how cool is that as well? Like, to identify, even once you start to understand structure, you can identify it on any time frame. Right? Does that make sense to everyone? Like what I just drew? I was just identifying like 2 candles within a consolidation zone, but within a 1 minute time frame, we had a swing structure, substructure, swing structure, substructure. How crazy is that? All I want to say is that they didn't really care about us. Did that make sense, Isabella and the rest? But the swing structure is going downward, isn't it? Well, no, because we're taking that, right? So that was firstly a bullish structure, but this isn't really structured. This is just like this is just a bullish move, right? Because we don't have this. For us to identify structure, we need to have like this. This is just like this. Not much pullbacks. So that would be like a swing structure coming down. And have a look at something that's interesting, even more interesting. When structure started to break down, so we had confirmations that we're going to have a retracement to the downside based on the smaller structure. Look where we hit perfectly at the bottom here and had it jump back. So what you guys identify as a consolidation, that was just the bottom of where we leveled out and we started to push back up. Right? So consolidation also opens up opportunities on smaller time frames. Let me just delete that shit because it's a lot going on there now. There's like so much drawings. Even my brain's like, damn. All right. What did I want to do now? Sorry, Kay asked me to explain Fibonacci. Sure. All right, so Fibonacci is simply we're trying to find the swing high to the swing low of a big move. We try and identify 2 key levels, the 0.5 or the 0.618. Now the 0.618, don't ask me why, it's just called the key pocket level, because when price gets up to that level, it's a retracement more or less to the middle, just above the middle of the actual move. Price tends to get a retracement and starts to push back down. Okay, so simply taking it from the swing high to the swing low of the current structural move. Let me do one that's like previously played out. Let's go on the 1 hour. Okay, so let's say, for example, I would say now maybe this would be an interesting one. I want to see if this would actually play out. Oh shit. Oh, what the fuck am I doing here? Yeah, This would be interesting, actually. So we start to identify that this is a cool one, right? So you can see exactly like this one plays out almost perfectly, right? Just delete that. I don't think that's relevant. Delete that. So this is really interesting, taking a Fibonacci level, right? Because we're going down. We have one move. Like technically we take that, you take that, take that, take that, take that, take that, take that, take that. And then we can say like this is our lowest point, right? The low of our point. Then what we understand is we're in a bearish structure. Bam. So we saying to ourselves, like, as long as price doesn't push back above there or starts to break above these highs, we understand that the market's going to remain bearish. So we're looking for a retracement back to our key pocket level of 0.618, and we're trying to look for a sell. Now, what would have been interesting about this one is we would have had why I would have taken this position, for example, is because I had a perfect, if you guys notice here, what did we have? We have a beautiful supply level, right? Have a look at this. We have a strong bearish move to the downside, followed by another strong. And then we can identify that this could potentially be a bearish, it could possibly be a sell zone, right? And would you guys agree, would this be a valid sell zone? Yes, because why? We had the impulsive move to the downside, followed by a slow retracement up to this level. Now, not only do we have, right, let me just remove the border, just so you guys, I want to keep it the same as everyone, so like you guys start to click with that. Now is your valid supply zone, and have a look how perfect that is. So this is your 0.618 or your 0.5. You can put sometimes two positions, it doesn't matter. But look how it came back, slowly retraced back to that level. Are you guys seeing this, right? Slowly came back down, and then once it came back to this point, slowly made market structure, slowly, nicely, very nice. Very slow, pushing our supply zone, so we identified this is a key supply zone. Now again, it didn't come all the way to 0.618 level, but it's literally, the supply zone is between the 0.5 and the 0.618. So if you wouldn't take the first entry on the 0.5, I would at least take it perfectly on my supply level, rather than waiting for the 0.618 level. So maybe I'd put one position here and one position here, no problem. So my supply level would have been executed, and I would have targeted, let's say, this low at the bottom or even this low, and this trade would have worked out perfectly because I would have taken this. My entry, for example, would have been, let's say, perfectly on here. We would have entered on this position. Stop loss would be maybe above. If we were to take the 618 level, our stop loss would have to be pretty much above there. And then I would target, like, let's say, for example, these lows here on the left-hand side, and possibly even low down to here. Like I said, we would have had a retracement. So this would have given a 1.36. So that's identifying a Fibonacci level K. Does that make sense? Did I explain it quite well? Because I also identified that there was a supply level plus your Fibonacci level. So you had double confluence, making it a perfect trade. All right. It's actually fun, like doing this. I don't know. I'm having a bit of fun. Do you mean that even when it's having a consolidation going upwards in a 15-minute time frame, we can still find opportunities to trade downward in 1 minute time frame? Absolutely, absolutely. But again, I don't want to confuse you too much. But okay, let me show you something else now. I just don't want to confuse you too much, Isabella, and I don't want to confuse everyone too much. But there's so much, like, when I say like trading is very easy, like, it actually is not that easy, because every time you think you know something, something else will happen, and then you'll be like, fuck, now I've got to learn something new. And it's like, damn, like, there's another thing, you know? But you said that thing was that thing, but then you said wait for that thing, and then that thing was, no, so I get it, It can be very hard, don't get me wrong, I fully understand. But, okay, have a look at this. Okay. Let's do this. Okay. Okay. Okay, how do I explain this super simply? Okay, let's do this. Okay. Get my text box out now. Okay, I'm going to try and explain this simply. Let's call this the, for shits and giggles, let's call it the 5-minute time frame. Okay, yeah, let's call it the 5-minute time frame. Okay, now this is also going to be interesting to learn. Yes, thank you. So it's better to pair with supply and demand strat. So wait, sorry, I didn't read the question before. I'm going to get to this, Isabella, now. So if we set a supply zone, we should put a stop loss above the 0.61 line. Slightly above there, unless you're aiming for the 0.61 line. If you're aiming for the sorry, wait. Where was it? This one, right? So let's say, for example, you entered at the 0.618 level, you would probably put your stop loss maybe above, maybe that high. This one over here, previous structure. Like again, yeah, if you're aiming for that, if you put in 2 positions, then you could probably put in your stop loss, because once it obviously goes there, it's probably going to break through that and go a bit above. So you probably put your stop loss a little bit above there. Your second entry will be at 1.5. Yeah, that would be good. So your second, like let's say for example, you took, sorry Isabel, I might jump in, this is 4K. That's like, if you were to take that second position, I'll put your stop loss there. A little bit of a tighter stop, well not really, and then you would target the same, and then this one will give you like a 1 to 10 risk reward, and this one would have given you a 1 to 4. So total you would add like a 1 to 14 risk reward total on the trade, just based on supply and demand and Fibonacci. Alright, cool. Let me get back to this. Damn, I've explained a shit ton of things. Guys, please, if you haven't already, please like the video. Like, I put a lot of time and effort into the stream, and I appreciate everyone who's watched the stream, because I think you guys have really learned a lot, because I've learned a lot in teaching doing this. So I've really like developed, like it's been good for me. Like I'm really actually enjoying this. Like although we haven't taken a trade yet, I think this is way better right now. Okay, let's say this is a 5-minute time frame. Okay, sorry, I just gotta figure out like what's the easiest way to understand. Okay, let's say this is a 5-minute time frame, right? I'll try and explain this in the most non-difficult way possible. It might be, maybe you need to rewatch this video again, Isabella, or someone who doesn't understand, because it's gonna be quite tough. Okay, so let's say this is the 5-minute current structure. Okay, so this is the 5-minute how the price currently looks. This is how wait. Yeah, let's say, okay, let's say on, okay, yeah, this could be a bit more clearer. Let's say, for example, like that. Okay. I'm going to make this gray for now. I don't know if you guys can see that. I think you can. Let me make it like a darker gray. That's not even black. Like, why is that? Okay. Okay, so what we have is a 5-minute structure right now, but we've just identified a key level here at the bottom, and we've identified a key level at the top. Now, within the key levels, you have smaller levels like support and resistance, for example. So you have like a smaller thing here, you have a smaller thing here, right? So building up, right? So remember what I was saying. This is to go back on. This is to go back on. Like let's say support and resistance as well. Because obviously you have when you have bullish price action, you're obviously hitting resistance, support, right? So this is exactly what you're doing. So it's going up, hitting resistance, coming back down for a trace and hitting support, coming back up for an impulse move, coming back down, hitting resistance, support, resistance. All right, is that clear to everyone before I move on to the next step? So this is your like key level. Like let's say this is let's call this 1 hour key resistance level. Let's say it was just a very important level, right? Then let's say this is the 1 hour support level. Okay, just try and understand what I'm saying now, okay? So let's say this is your 5-minute structural move, right? So within the structural move, you had a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Wait, let me just identify this as well. Okay, you have a high, you have a low. I just want to... Okay, cool. Okay, so this is your 5-minute structure, your 5-minute internal structure on your 1 hour, your 1 hour, your 1 hour structure, right? You have a 5-minute internal structure. Within your 5-minute internal structure, right? If, for example, the 1 hour, and this is to go back and explain the power of a higher time frame, why it dominates a lower time frame, is because, like, let's say, it's like on the 1 hour, this is what it looked like, right? Like this is maybe small. Like let's say maybe this was only like this range between here was like, let's say this 5-minute structure was like, fuck. I'm trying not to. Is everyone understanding what I'm showing right now? Like just before I continue, because I don't want to confuse anyone. Does everyone understand what I mean? Substructure within the 1 hour time frame. So basically, like your retracement or your impulsive move within a 1 hour time frame. Does everyone understand that? I just want to make sure everyone's still with me, because I don't want to skip a step now, because the next part's also important. Okay. I need more people like awake. So just put yes if you do, no if you don't. It's perfectly fine if you don't understand. Okay. Okay, get in some yeses. I think, yeah, because it's just a little bit of delay. Okay, cool. So I think everyone, again, I'm going to move on. If you have a question, please just pop it in the chat. Okay, cool. No. Okay. What don't you understand? Low JWK. What don't you understand? Because maybe there's someone else that doesn't understand either. If you don't mind putting in the chat before I continue. Sorry guys, it's a bit of a longer stream, but I'm going to probably do this and then I'll probably call it. I don't think we're going to trade today. It's not looking, it's just ranging. And this is going to be the importance of what that is. Well, I'm explaining, you mean higher lows. So I'm explaining, I'm talking about the importance and the dominance of a higher time frame, why it's important. So this is what I'm trying to get at, right? So I'm explaining that this is a 5-minute internal structure. Remember when I broke it down on the 15-minute time frame, it was like 2-3 candles, but on the 1 minute it was like 30 candles, 40 candles, right? So within that smaller substructure, you had obviously structure like this. You had new high highs, high lows. Obviously on the 15-minute was consolidated, right? You didn't have any structure, but now on the 5-minute you have structure. So meaning like this is what it looks like on the 1 hour, right? So it's, for example, something like that comes lower like that. So you have, so this is like what the 1 hour time frame looks like. This is what like the candles printing, like candles going up, candles going down, candles going up. And then on the substructure, this move, what this move looks like, I'm really trying to explain this as simple as possible. I'm trying to talk about the dominance of the higher time frame. Let's make it blue. It's fine, doesn't matter. This is going to be like that. Obviously way more candles will be there because this is like, let's say each of these represent a candle. Obviously there'll be way more 5-minute candles with this one move, but hypothetically, you know what, wait, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Probably make more sense to do, fuck no, I'll confuse you. I'll confuse you too much. No, you know what? Actually, to make it way easier, explaining substructure. This is a 15-minute, and I'm gonna explain why. Sorry, let me just do that because it'll make way more sense. Okay, so this is a 15-minute substructure, and this over here. Just bear with me now. You'll understand why I moved it. This over here, I think it's gonna be too small, to be honest. Just bear with me here, guys. Just bear with me here. It will make tons of sense what I'm doing, why I changed that. This is one hour candle. Okay, that. So let me just put an arrow. Okay, that's one candle, just one candle, one hour candle. This line represents one candle. Let me do something like that. It's fine. Okay, let's do that. I need to remove that. Okay, that's fine. I'm trying to get it. Okay. So this, each candle, because each line represents a candle, right? So each candle now is 15 minutes. So in order to make up a 1 hour candle, how many 15-minute candles do we need? 4, right? So each candle, hour, no. Make this smaller. That's too small. It's a bit confusing as fuck here, but anyway. Okay, so each candle, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that would be your 1 hour move. Like, okay, I know it's gonna confuse it. Fuck, the droids are so hard to do. Okay, but I think you get the point. Sorry, like it's just hard because I need to draw like 4 candles, for example. Let me see, because I could probably fix it. Sorry guys, I'm trying to do this on the spot. Normally, like if I do an educational, I would like think it through. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Then like let's say the 5 will be the impulsive. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. So this is like your 1 hour move. That's fine. That's fine. This is good. So that candle represents this whole move, right? Does that make sense to everyone? This line represents all of these lines on a 15-minute time frame. Okay, cool. I think that's what I was trying to get at, right? So now what I'm trying to get at, right? So that's explaining obviously smaller structure within a bigger structure and how to identify certain levels. Now, again, remember what I was telling you now to get to the next point about what I want to get at. I know, sorry, my drawings, I'm not an artist, right? It's not my profession. Now, if, for example, a news candle comes out, let's say, for example, we have a big liquidity candle, we have something just pushes us down, and it's an aggressive move. We're not going to worry about this level. We're not going to worry about this level. We're not going to worry about this level. We're going to worry about this level. So that substructure, this 15-minute substructure becomes obsolete because we know, well, we assume that price, if it's going to push down aggressive, it's not going to worry about creating a new lower high here. If I could do this to come back down, no, it's going to say, fuck that structure. I'm looking for the next big structure or the next structure that makes sense. It's going to break all the way down here. And probably on this side, there will be much more candles playing on this side, right? So it's important to understand, like, that's, I'm getting back to Isabella's question because she's saying something about the 1 minute, and I wanted to get back to sometimes the 1 minute, the 5 minute structure can become completely obsolete because of certain news events, because of liquidity candles, because of big volume candles, right? So don't get trapped of a smaller time frame. Always understand if there's news coming, if there's bigger impulsive moves or something else is happening. So that's what I was trying to get at. Sorry it took so fucking long. Like, honestly, like, it should have been way easier, but I was trying to just get back to Isabella's question when she asked about, like, 1 minute. I want to talk about the importance of a higher time frame will always dominate, because yeah, you saw that there's no structure. It's just one candle. So for one candle to push down, let's say even on a 4-hour candle, it's just going to dominate this whole 15-minute bullshit on the left-hand side. Unless structure gets formed, then you can come back to the 15 minutes. You can say, oh, but there was structure there. Okay, cool. This could be a pullback on the 1 hour and price could come back down. Yeah, I think Hobby is right. I think as a beginner, stick to higher time frames to take a bit longer to play out, because you start to get a little bit confused with lower time frames because sometimes it just doesn't make sense. You need to take a lot more trades on a lower time frame in order to be profitable, because you're taking, obviously, there's going to be a lot more stop loss, there's going to be a lot more less risk rewards. You know, lower time frames can be a great way to get a nice big risk to reward, right? Because you're obviously executing with a tighter stop loss and the price might come down and you might get a banger. That's how we get generally some big RRs. All right. Okay, guys, I think I've explained shit tons today. Fuck. I'm exhausted, bro. And price is just pushing down. It hasn't done anything this stream. Like I said, Isabella and the rest of the people, sorry, I'm not trying to pick on Isabella, but it's just consolidating. It's been doing that the whole stream. So, not a waste of time because we didn't get a position. So, A, great. And number 2 is we learned a shit ton. And number 3, if you want to get the actual signal when it actually plays out, drop me a DM in my Telegram community. All right? So, we never found a position. I've explained why we didn't get a position and what exactly we were waiting for, right? So I'm not going to stream for the rest of the week now. So if you want to get access to these signals and you're new to trading, make sure to drop me a DM. My link is in the description, and make sure you guys get in on that, because now I've explained why we're not getting a position. Now, if anyone actually listened to what I said, and I assume that a lot of you did, you guys would look at that and you would say, no, it's not really a position for me to enter. So that's what I'm trying to get you guys to understand as well. Stop looking at things. Stop looking at every single scenario. Start looking at the best possible scenarios, and that's what I look for, right? So when the 15-minute breaks the 1 hour support level, then we have to be careful that it might go down. So when the 15-minute breaks the support level, again, yes, it could be true. Yes, it is true. So if, like, we're pushing up it breaks the support level. So now that support level will become a resistance. If the price pushes back, we could create a change of character, and this could indicate that we could have a shift in structure. But then you need to go look back on your 1 hour and say, but where's that? Where was the swing structure? Where was the substructure? Are we still in the swing structure, or are we just in a substructural move? Or could this indicate that we could have a bearish structure being formed even on the 1 hour, right? Don't worry, Isabella, like, you will understand. You will start to understand. Like, don't expect, like, this one thing I'm going to tell you now. Do not expect to learn everything of a one stream or a few streams. It's going to take some time. And you know what? It's perfectly fine. I'm not a fast learner, and that's perfectly fine. I'm not scared to admit it. I take time to learn things because I really, really want to learn it. And I like to grasp the understanding of everything. And yes, like, some things I need to go back and learn. It's like anything you did in school. You know, like, if you didn't have a photographic memory, like, you needed to go back on your notes and you need to go learn after what I just said, you know, because there was a lot to comprehend. Like, I wouldn't think that every single of you guys would understand everything 100% here now. There's some things that you guys are still unsure about. And if you gripped everything that I said, well done. But I'm sure there's some people that didn't, and that's perfectly fine because there was so much information, your brain can't possibly comprehend all of that. Do you have trading windows, favorite sessions to trade, or do you look for opportunities all day? I look for opportunities pretty much all day. If the opportunity arises, look for some news events. Yeah. How many likes? We on 30. Get in there, you know. Get in there. I still I get a lot more viewers. Like, our highest was 45. I remember. I was like, damn, that was a good stream, you know. And now that I've explained shit tons, you know, it's like 30 likes. But anyways, you know, we work our way up. You know, like, you guys are building your knowledge. I'm building my likes. You know, there's some more likes coming in. Like, thank you very much. Oh, thanks for today. Please drink more water. Yeah. You know what to say. Cheers to that. And again, guys, if you got any questions, regarding anything to do with training when I'm not, please just drop me a DM. My link's in the description. And yeah, a big shout out to everyone who tuned on the stream. It was literally a 2-hour stream today. Very, very educational. Remember, this video will be loaded onto YouTube, so feel free to go back and watch this video again. Right? It's literally free educational videos. Like, you can literally just go watch it whenever you want. Go back and go check. What time do you stop trading gold for the day? Depends. I don't always have a specific time. I don't say, like, okay, all right, it's 10 p.m. It's 8 o'clock. Poof, time for me to stop trading gold. Nah, it's always different. If I'm like, oh, okay, shit, like, I just don't see, like, if I, let's say, have a position pending and I've been waiting for so long for it, and I'm like, you know what, fuck it, like, it's not going to reach there today, or if it does, I'll just accept it, then I'll just go sleep. I'm like, I'm not going to sit and wait for this position to play out, because it's like, could take another 3 hours, could take 4 hours, could take an hour. My sleep's more important, and I'll just get back on the chart. Even if I miss the opportunity, I'm not really bothered. I guess you might remember me from today onwards, as so many questions. No. Rachel missed most of the stream. Damn. Yo, this was the one stream you didn't want to miss. Oh, but you know what? Like, yo, if you miss this one, it's like, yo, I feel bad. Rachel, I'm just about to jump on, but no, we didn't take any trades, so you didn't miss out on that. But there was a ton of information, a ton. I've just spent 2 hours explaining pretty much a lot of things, especially in a very easy way, because there's some people that's very, very new. But yeah, no, definitely, if you guys just tune in, please, like, watch this. Like, definitely watch the stream again. I think it was a powerful one. Yeah, Isabel, I'll definitely remember. Don't worry, I remember everyone. Like, if you come on here consistently, I remember anyone that comes on here often. I remember like all you guys. Um, but anyways, guys, really appreciate you all. Peace out for now, and have a great Thursday. And stay tuned for the next trade on the VIP group. Link is in the description. Much love, Alan B.